Welcome to another exciting episode of Culture Conversations. It's always an honor and a privilege to be bringing this show to you. My name remains Chizobam Ofebo, and today we're going to have another exciting conversation with regards to culture in Africa and Nigeria. We have with us a seasoned, respected, and globally acknowledged fashion designer, and she's female, and she runs a very, very culture intrinsic brand called Olohije. And so we're going to be meeting with her in a moment. But I just want to say, as usual, as I always say, I am proudly Nigerian, and I cannot stop being proudly Nigerian. The whole world is touting about just our brilliance. And last week we got the opportunity to interview Pelumi Nubi, who traveled from London to traveled from Lagos to London to Lagos solo, and it was a brilliant and successful journey. So now let's introduce our guest, Gift Olohije Raji. Gift Olohije Raji is a seasoned fashion designer and founder of Lohije, a leading sustainable fashion brand in Nigeria, promoting African artisanship and local crafts. She is a graduate of Rhoda Michaels Fashion Academy and was also amongst the first cohort of Claire Idera Design Workshop in 2018. She's an alumni of Shapes and Silhouettes, TRCS Japan, Ellen MacArthur, FLTS, Fashionomics, Africa Incubator, Lord Africa, and more. She also has had personal trainings and mentorships with Passing School of Design Director Abrema Ewar and the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP. Gift has worked as a freelance designer and as an assistant production designer for brands like Grey Velvet, Frankie & Co., and Sahara Group. Her designs have been showcased at Lagos Fashion Week, Woven Threads, Gas Foundation, Seoul Africa Festival, and has been worn by global celebrities like Chimamanda Adichie, Beverly Osu, Nini Singh, Eniola Adeoluwa, and others. Her love for African history and arts and her dedication to seeing African design celebrated globally has led the brand to be the winner of Fashionomics Africa's Sustainable Design Contest in 2022, amongst other notable achievements. We're so blessed to have you in the studio today. I am such a fan of designs that, embed culture in them.
Thank you.
So when I saw yours, I think what I first saw was the one of the trouser, the Ashoke trouser that is cut here. I was like, that's really nice. I must get that. Then I saw the one where there was a slit at the back, the opening at the back. I was like, this is really nice. Very, very cool. And to see Ashoke being used in a very cool manner like that, very nice. So then I went further and I did my research and I saw your work with sustainability. I was like, well, that's brilliant. So thank you for being here. I know you're super busy, but thank you for making out the time to be here. Fashion in Nigeria. I've had on a couple of fashion designers, and then the recurring theme is, yes, African fashion is doing fantastically well. Nigerian fashion is doing fantastically well, but we're not on the global scene. We're not getting the recognition we should get because some people copy our designs, and they take it there and get the big bucks for it. But then we're left with, we are the originators. But then they're the ones making the big bucks, So I'm like, okay, what's the solution? For you, what would you say the solution to something like that is? What do you feel like we as Nigerians need to do more to ensure that that kind of stuff ceases to happen? Where we are both the originators and beneficiaries rather.
So thank you so much for having me on this show. I am really, really grateful for it.
Thank you.
And when you reached out, I was really excited about it. Thank you. So I would say, first of all, something I've always said is structure. That's what they have that we don't have. They have a structure that works for them. They have other aspects of fashion that people are very professional at that works for them that people do not know about here in Africa or in Nigeria. I would say more of Nigeria because that's where I was born and that's where I know more of. So there's a lot of things to do with fashion as a business that is more than designing, right? There's the PR, there's the sales, there's other things, there's trend casting. There's a lot that we need to start paying attention to. There's also the strong business aspect, the fact that we need to start positioning our business to have more investors, right? And to be honest, with more money, you can do more things.
Sure.
You can reach more grounds with more money.
You can build good structure with more.
All right, it's true. So that's why somebody would take our designs because they have the money, they have the structure, and within just like a week or a month, they'll push it farther than you will push for a year, right? So we need that structure here. We need to start, and I always say that there is no structure without education.
Sure.
There's no structure without it. We have to start from education. And the educational system here in Nigeria doesn't really support fashion design in a way that makes it professional to people, right? I studied in Rodamayako's, but it was like I would say it was like a private kind of setting. It wasn't something that was really put into, like, if I am going to school to study fashion, what kind of fashion, what area of fashion am I studying? Say in Unilag, in Uniben, in all these schools, what kind of fashion, what part of fashion am I studying? Am I studying PR in fashion, right? Is that what I want to study?
Fashion law.
Or fashion law? Thank you very much, right? I know someone, very amazing lady who is studying, who is doing so much in fashion law, but there are not a lot of people like that. And we need people like that. We need structure. That's what I would say.
Structure. And structure, born out of education.
Exactly.
Born out of, and when you talked about positioning your brand, which is what we're talking about, positioning the Nigerian brand on the local global scene, brings me to what we discussed, before we got here today. Sustainability. I saw that was something you were doing, and very, something you're passionate about. It was not because of a trend. It's something you were passionate about. Then you found, something going on the global scene, and you're like, okay, so let's merge. Let's merge. And that's also something that people, beyond the marketing, beyond the law, it's also strategy. Strategy and positioning. That's something that should also be taught. In schools. Or you can go and learn it. If it's not being taught here, it's not an excuse. You take a course, and learn it. So sustainability. How important is it for us to put our waste, especially waste that comes from manufacturing clothes? How important is it for us to recycle it or upcycle it, as you say? If we don't, what's the dire result?
All right. So I'm going to start from when you talked about positioning. I was talking to my younger brother like 2 months ago, and I said, whatever career you want to go to, first of all, go and research the SDGs. Whatever you want to do, it must contribute back to the community. If not, nobody wants to listen to you anymore.
Powerful.
People don't need some other thing, some other brand, some other company. People need solutions, right? So where does your business fall under? The career is not just business. Even if it's a career path you want to go to, where is it falling under the SDG? What solution is it providing with the SDG goals?
In alignment.
Yes, how is it aligning to the 17 SDG goals? You have to ask yourself. That's one. So I think when I began to understand sustainability, I had to ask myself, it was a tough question, but I had to ask myself, what do you want to do? Right? And one of it was I wanted to promote culture, right? I wanted to help sustainable communities. That was one of the most important things for me, because I was born in Lagos, yes, but I had a father, bless his soul now, who brought me in to realize the beauty of culture, right? He was always trying out new music from countries that he has never gone to, but that was in Africa. So I began to understand how beautiful music in Africa can be, art in Africa can be, from just seeing how very interested he is. And I'm like, why are we not hearing this more? Why is this not what we are so proud about here in Africa and even around the world? So it was what made me, I think that my dad's love for art and then my mom's interest in sewing, right? I think they just came in together, and then and then inspired me. So when I knew I was going to go into fashion, I told myself I wasn't going to do fashion the normal way. I wanted to do something good. I wanted to do something different. And then I said, what way can I do fashion that wouldn't contribute waste to the community, that wouldn't add another problem, but would be solving the problem? Right, I want to make money. Let us be honest. I want to make money. I'm going into business. What way can I make money in a business that would not add to the problem that the world is facing? Rather, even if it's a minute part of it, I would be solving the problem. That was what made me to start researching into the part of sustainability and all that it is. And when you talked about, and when you asked about waste, I would, towards the fashion industry, I'm sure that many of us in fashion industry knows that fashion is like the second biggest polluter in the world. A lot of things, a lot of business ideas can come out from just fashion waste. Yes. And I want people to start seeing that there are business ideas that can come out from just the waste that the fashion industry is producing or have produced over the years. I don't want us to only see it as we're doing good. You know, I think that when humans begin to see that there's money in something, they'll go into it.
A lot of good will start happening.
Yes, you have to see that apart from doing good, there's money.
Yes, there's profitable good.
There's profit. When we were talking earlier, I was talking to you about how good it was for us when we had to reuse many of our items. We don't throw away scrap fabric. First of all, we are learning how not to produce as much waste. So it first of all starts with not producing as much waste as you produce in your cutting. So it's from design thinking. We're saying, how do we cut that we don't produce as much waste? So when we have limited the waste that we produce, and we're saying it's our responsibility to take care of what we have created so that we don't add to the problems that everybody's trying to solve. And we're asking ourselves, what can we do with it? I have even been able to bring out so much ingenuity from even my staff by asking them, what do we do with this? And then they begin to be excited because they want to do something from it, right? And then we begin to work and everything. And I was telling you about our upcycled bags, our upcycled tote bags. When I saw the cost of production had dropped because we used upcycled bags, I was happy. Oh my God. Yes. Much more profit for me. Right? And reduce cost. If we begin to see that it is really good economically, yes, to actually
solve
problems and go the sustainable route in any business, right? I'm a fashion designer, so I'll talk more from fashion, but in any business, how can you cut down on waste? Because it's also going to help your production cost. It's also going to contribute. It has given us an entire line of products here at Chloe J. We make upcycled bags with coconut handles. Yes. And we have our customers really liking them. We have been able to think, what are we going to do? Instead of throwing this away, what are we going to do with it? And they love it. They love it. And we're making more money. That's it.
That's a very good angle. The more money part is always
so, yes. So we're making more money with it, but we're doing good.
Yes.
I think people should begin to think like that.
Yeah. Yes. So, I mean, I like what you said about, I like how you brought it back to the money part because we're in an economy right now where, so if you're not talking about money right now, it's like, And I love how you said two things, and I want us to note before we go on. You said make sure you're aligning whatever it is or you're doing with, the SDG goals. Any global effort to make humanity better. Look for those things and align your business with it. Also, there's a lot of business just being left on the table when it comes to fashion waste from the fashion industry. I myself here, I'm racking my brain, so I hope you're doing the same too. Because if you're living in the slum, I trust you're seeing a lot of fashion waste. So what can we do about it? How can we make a business out of it? Okay, so the Nigerian fashion, your outfit. Now I was talking about how bold, how beautiful, and how it's just standing out on the screen.
Thank you.
And everything. Now you do stuff like this. I know a lot of fashion people complain about copyrights, copycats. So there's the argument of do we not imitate? Is there something against imitating all the things that exist today? Aren't they imitations of someone's original idea? Is there even an original idea? What do you say to that? Like, when let's say you've run this business now. I know you've been running for quite long. Let's say just 1 year, and then someone else from somewhere just starts their own, and it's it's very clear they took the idea from yours.
Exactly. I know it's very painful. That's one thing that I'm going to say, that anybody who does that is wrong, right? Is wrong. So I know how painful that can be, right? When you have toiled and you've worked and you've followed the righteous way to bring out design, and then somebody's just cutting corners to just do things. I know how painful, and I've seen a lot of scenarios like that. So that's when we're talking about fashion law, and that's why it is good. It's good to when you know that your designs, especially a particular designer, can be copied. It's very easy to be copied, but you know that you were the first person who brought that out.
Patent it.
Yeah, immediately. Yeah, it's very important.
I love this conversation. Yes, having, like it's going to many places. Yeah, so.
Yes. it's very important that you do the needful and then patent it. But then there would still be the honest conversation between ideas flying around, the same people, like it might not really be copied, right? But it's just innovative, right? So I cannot say there's a yes or no answer to that, right? But I would say
make it as original.
Yes,
as
make it as original. Be truthful to yourself. You would, you can lie to everybody, but you would know if this was something copied. Is from you. And I know that there's so many places to get inspiration from, right? And then you can actually be true to yourself in getting inspiration and say, okay, I want to make designs, but I want to make them true to me. So I believe that we have, no matter if I was born in Lagos, or you're Nigerian, I'm a Nigerian, but we have different experiences.
Yes.
We have different experiences. If just your experience while you were 5 years old was what inspired your print, it will not be the same experience with me while I'm 5 years old. There's a whole lot of place to get inspiration from. Why are you looking at someone else's own? It's a lot. Like, God has given you a lot. Come on. Just
do the work.
Yes, just do the work. Just tell yourself, I want to do something that's really like particular to me, right? That speaks to me, that comes from myself. And it will be easy. It will be easy.
Yeah, so I mean, ingenuity is very, very, very possible in the fashion industry because we don't tend to see a lot of that. We see a lot of fast fashion, and there's nothing wrong with fast fashion, but I mean, there's
nothing wrong with fast fashion.
Okay, please let's talk about that. You know,
there's something very wrong with fast fashion. Is the fact that they produce more when only just a few % of it is being actually sold. It's a very big problem. You produce, and first of all, there's a word that I always tell someone. You say that is cheap, but there's somebody behind paying the cost of it.
True. Sleepless nights, sleeping on the floor.
There are people in Cambodia who are sleeping in bamboo houses, who are making your clothes that you are rocking to the club or to the fashion shows, and they are suffering and they are paid less than $1. Somebody is actually paying. And it's hurtful. If you're a good person, I believe that if you're a good person, you would look at fast fashion. I know you might see the economic benefit, but what about the adverse, the bad, the negative consequences of it, right? That's behind, that they are trying so much to hide.
Yes, that's where this ethical fashion thing came from.
And then we are the one we are dumping sites.
Yes.
Africa is the dumping site.
Yeah. For the excess.
Exactly.
And for the product itself.
The global north, just product name, everything that they and just dump it on us. And then we have to, our seas are reeking with smelling clothes. We can't even if you go to Katangwa market, right? Many of the women who sell secondhand will complain and tell you that many of the things in the bag are trash. They can't sell them to people. So they have to throw them away. So why are you bringing them to us when you know they are bad? It's a lot of problem. Oh, I think the advocate in this.
No, I mean it's very important.
It's a lot of problems.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense, you know. So yeah. Thank you so much, Gift, for being here today. We've learned so much. I'm going home. God knows I'm going now. Sitting as what can we do with this priest that is giving a money thing, giving us money as the Igbo girl in me is sitting up.
Exactly.
Do you get, like, if it's making money for me, that's fine. We can do noble works all day. Let's do the noble work and let's find the profit angle to it and align your business, whatever it is you're doing, with any global effort to, you know, to relieve humanity of any stress that is being put on it. Thank you so much, Gift, for being here today. My name remains Chizoba Mofebo. We have with us the amazing fashion designer and founder of Lohije, Gift Olohije Raji, where we'll be joining John and Helen in the studio in a bit. Stay tuned.